Dexter Season 2 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am, rewatching or watching Dexter, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case and you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further for any potential spoilers. This will be Dexter Season 2, Episode 11. The title of this episode is called Left Turn Ahead. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So it starts off with Dexter still feeling guilty about his father's death, knowing that he's the reason that Harry killed himself because he saw what Dexter really was. He hadn't really seen it before. And then Dokes tells Dexter to turn himself in, and Dokes mentions he could hurt someone else like Deb or Rita, foreshadowing for future seasons. And I actually think that Dokes is really sincere during this scene. Dexter then gets a call from the hospital regarding something that happened with Lila. So Dexter leaves and Dokes is trying to kick the cage open. He's pissed because he wanted to get out then. There's a flashback to Deb at the hospital saying he's gone when Dexter's dad died, or Harry died, I should say, because Harry wasn't really his dad. And then Dexter sees Lila at the hospital, and first he hears that she was thinking she was raped and wants to perform, or wants the doctors to perform a rape kit on her. That's why that's what they told her, the doctor. And then Lila tells Dexter she won't press charges against Angel if he'll take her back. She says that she is his soulmate and not Rita's. Dexter tells Angel if he could be like anyone, it would be him. Well, that's a nice compliment by Dexter. Lundy starts talking about a future with Deb, which she likes the sound of that. And then they both get messages to come to the station. The kill tools with Dokes' fingerprints on them have been found that Dexter had planted. And then Lundy's boss, Max Adams, who is in town from Washington, played by the great Jonathan Banks, who's also in Breaking Bad as Mike Ehrmantraut. Love fucking Jonathan Banks, and especially Mike in Breaking Bad. And Matthew says, let's make him feel at home. Dexter says, for such a neat monster, he's making an awfully big mess. Dokes kicks open the bottom of the cage. He leaves the cabin. Someone from upstairs comes to arrest Angel for sexual assault. Rita calls Dexter to come get her due to some car problems that she's having. Dokes finds some people on a boat, tells them he was held prisoner and that he's a police sergeant, and then they attack him and knock him out. Bad for Dokes. And then Deb calls Lundy a god and tells him, don't you forget it, as he's telling her, I had Dokes, but I let him go because I just wasn't convinced that he was our guy. And it's my fault. That's why they're second-guessing all the decisions that I make. Dexter tells Rita that he wants to take her and the kids on the boat. And then Dexter goes back to the cabin and notices that Dokes has gotten away. But then he sees Dokes and the guys holding him captive show up. They want Dokes to carry the cocaine back to the boat. So Dexter makes eye contact with Dokes, and they kind of work together here. Dokes distracts one guy so Dexter can go in the cabin and take out his partner. And they don't seem to speak English, so Dokes says, suck my dick, motherfucker. You understand that shit? Kind of random, but fucking hilarious. And then they take care of the other guy. And Dexter says Dokes and... Wait a minute. Dexter says Dokes, and Dexter asks Dokes if they're friends of his. Oh, so I must have messed up typing here. Yes, I typed this one up and I didn't write it. Dexter asked Dokes if they were friends of his. No, they're friends of... now I'm forgetting his name. The guy that Dexter took out that didn't really even have any scenes. The friend of Santos Jimenez. And then Dexter, unfortunately, puts Dokes back in the cage. And Dexter tells Dokes he's thinking about turning himself in. Dexter likes the idea of being able to sleep in prison. Doak says he'll help him. He wants to go right now. Let's go. Let's get out of here. We'll take care of everything. But I have to take care of some affairs or some. And Doak's like, just lock me in the trunk. So he needs a day to get his affairs in order, and then he'll come get him. So Dexter tells Dokes that he really enjoys the conversations, or our conversations. Unfortunately, that's going to be the last one that he has with James Dokes. And Dokes, of course, is mad that Dexter leaves. And then Dexter calls Deb, says he needs her to sign some papers. She said she's meeting Angel and Masuka for drinks. And then Dexter asked Deb if she has any weed, as he's always been very curious to try it. And Deb's like, what the hell? Are you fucking high? And while out for drinks, Masuka, of course, makes a joke that didn't come out right. He tends to do that a lot. I like Masuka. He hasn't been the character of the episode yet. He needs to be. Hopefully soon. Might not be till season 3 or 4, though. And then Dexter goes to Lila's to ask her to drop the charges against Angel. And he tells her that she's not going to have him because he won't be around more. He won't be around anymore, is what I meant to write. After tomorrow, I put around more. And then Deb and Lundy talk about the Angel case. Deb asked Lundy to do a background check on Lila like he did to Gabriel, her ice princess boyfriend that she dumped because she fell in love with an old geezer. And turns out she has no records at all, Lila Ternay. So they figure out that she's obviously using an alias. So Angel Batista, whatever you want to call him, brings a microwave to Deb and Masuka to test it for fingerprints, as he said that Lila made popcorn and touched it when she was at his house. Dexter invites Deb over for beer and steaks later on this evening, and then we see LaGuerta finding evidence to show that Dokes may indeed be innocent. She calls Lundy about it, and he says it's actually worth looking into. Dexter goes out on the boat with Rita and the kids. We see Lila get into Dexter's minivan that, of course, he bought from Roger Hicks, one of our favorite random killers of an episode. Lila actually takes the GPS unit from the glove box. Dexter tells Rita that her and the kids are really important to him, and he just wants her to know it. Dexter gives Rita the title to the minivan. Rita says she has too many feelings for Dexter, and she wants to get it right. So she has too many feelings, and she wants to get it right and not just rush into anything. And then we find out that Lila's real name is actually Lila West, and her visa is expired. So Deb says she's going to have her deported. And then Deb smarts off to Max Adams, Lundy's boss, as he's giving Lundy a hard time about letting Dokes go initially when he had him in for questioning. And then Deb goes to Lila's place. She says she needs to leave now. She's told immigration about it. She doesn't want to give her one more day to fuck up the people she cares about. And Deb says she needs to leave tonight. So Dexter starts cooking the steaks. He wants Deb to take him into custody. And then in his mind, he's runs scenarios in his head of confessing to Deb. It's not going to be easy. Deb shoots him. Deb starts crying. Random stuff happens. So Dexter, after getting some good feedback from Deb, decides he's not going to turn himself in. And he's going to go with the plan to frame Dokes and stick with it. And then Lila goes to the cabin because she had the GPS unit. And Dokes realizes that it's not Dexter coming and is excited just to possibly get out. And that's how the episode ends. So, pretty good episode. I think it was a really good building episode for a lot of characters in this one. As far as a score, I'm going to give it a 9.0 out of 10. I'm really happy that Jonathan Banks, Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad, is in this episode. He's awesome. He doesn't have a big role on Dexter, which sucks, because he actually did Dexter before he did Breaking Bad. Fun fact for you. Love Jonathan Banks. I like him in the movie called There Goes the Neighborhood too. If you want to check that out. Jeff Daniels and Catherine O'Hara, the mom from Home Alone, that goes, Kevin! And yeah, really like Jonathan Banks. And as far as the score, I gave it a 9.0 out of 10. Character of the episode. Well, this is a tough one because I think Deb was really good in this episode, and I think Dokes was really good in this episode. So my initial thought was Deb, but then I thought of all the moments of Dokes and Dexter talking to each other. So, I mean, either which way, they were both really good. If you want to give it to Dokes, I'm fine with that. If you want to give it to Deb, I'm fine with that too. Deb was my initial thought, but I have been pretty high on Dokes the last 2 episodes here, so maybe it's Deb's turn. Of course, Deb was the character of the episode before that, I think. Or was it Lundy? I don't know. Nonetheless, I'm going to go with Deb or Dokes, whatever you want to give it to. And that's my analysis for the episode. So I think it worked pretty good, typing everything out on a Word document. A lot easier to read than reading a little clipboard with little teeny tiny notes here. So you've heard what I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Dexter or Dexter New Blood or The Walking Dead or UFC fight reactions or Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones or any other thing that I do on JTJ Dev TV, or if you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, make sure you smash that like button. If you want to share this video or if you want to put it on any of your social media platforms, go ahead and do so. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Dexter. Who was your character of the episode? What was your favorite moment? And what would you score the episode if you had to score it? And then, of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, and show your damn support and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.